That's that real music, man. Come back home, motherfucker, see how real it is, man. You say like, damn, man, like, you know, cause the world's so big. You feel me?
Made in Abyss made me feel something I don't think I've ever felt in an anime before. It's like you start season 1 and it's like, yeah, that was alright. And then season 2 just breaks you. Season 2 basically dropkicked the first one in quality and production. And I don't even know how they did that. I mean, the show already looked gorgeous. And Kevin Penkin, the music director behind the anime, deserves the most toe-curling, orgasmic massage from the prettiest Asian woman for his work on the soundtrack for both seasons. Like, what is this?
I wanna know where the people are that take my dreams to
What is that melody?
But before I talk about season 2, I'm one of the dum-dums that didn't watch Made in Abyss when it first came out, so I know people have already had their take on the show, but I kinda just got here, so I kinda want my turn too. So Promised Neverland has given me permanent PTSD for shows with children as the main leads. So in the very first episode of Made in Abyss, the main character Riko made a joke saying that she got strung up naked for punishment, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, no, don't do this to me. The first episode? Like, Riko, say psych, please, for the love of God, please say psych. And she said it so playfully, you thought she was joking, but then
that's enough internet for me today. I am going to wash myself with holy water.
yeah, this show is about to try and rip out my heart, isn't it? But the reason I feel Made in Abyss hits so differently compared to most anime, especially isekais, is how they do world building. You will think I'm crazy, but I feel like more anime should experiment with new art styles for their shows that suit the atmosphere of the world that their anime is taking place in. Look at Mob Psycho's unique and simplistic art style, Chainsaw Man's chaotic and colorful, damn near noir-like style, Kill la Kill and whatever the fuck they were doing. I feel like making the entire cast look like characters in a cute little Ghibli movie surprises you even more when they do stuff like this. Like, this show just turns on a dime with your expectations. I start an episode thinking, oh, okay, we're just gonna be chilling, you know, this episode, we just vibing, we coolin'. And then by the end of the episode, I'm looking like this. Like, I was just wrong. I was just so wrong about this show at first. This shit just completely turns into a horror anime out of nowhere. Like, damn, can I catch my breath, please? I mean, the first time you meet Midi in season 1, I just knew that anything that looked like that was not having a pleasant existence. She is not okay. I mean, look at her. Poor baby.
Love of God!
It's weird because anime that focus on the world building more than the characters, I never really like. I always feel like when you write a story, good character writing should always come first before anything for me, because their actions are the ones that's going to be moving the plot forward. Not to say I don't like these characters in particular. Like, I'm getting to that. Get your ass out the comment section. Come on now. So you know how in Hunter x Hunter, the entire point of the show is focusing on the journey and not where you actually want to go. Well, I feel like in Made in Abyss, this show gives me that same vibe. But in season 1, it didn't always have the most bombastic action scenes to fall back on if we were maybe in a slower part of the story. And like I said, the characters drive the story for me. I mean, why do you think I spend half the time in my videos talking about the characters in shows? It's really what I look for the most. It's what makes me care about the story they're trying to tell me in the first place. Whether it's live action, animated, or video games, good character writing will always make up for a lackluster story. And unlike season 2, where the action and gore went up by 1,000,
Hey yo,
yo, what the fuck?
Are you done having your tantrum?
Season 1 wasn't given that same energy, and that was okay. And since I'm still talking about season 1, you know we gotta talk about the opening.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
Listen, man.
Yeah, this shit's a smooth 5 out of 10. Both openings are kinda... And it's weird that both openings are so subpar for me, since y'all know how much I care about that stuff. But then the original soundtrack just bangs in the whip. It's like Kevin, while choosing the openings, was like, oh yeah, just throw them some bullshit, they already eating good. Like, no! It matters! It always matters! Apparently how Kevin made the music for the show is that the studio basically gave him pictures and said, just make shit. And that is hilarious. I also found it weird that the anime just throws you into it without even explaining anything at first. Like, why are they letting the kids go out exploring when there's literally fucking Elden Ring monsters outside? And they're just chilling. They're just vibing. This is clearly their territory.
Hey.
And we are clearly paying the price with it because we want to play Dora the Cave Explorer instead of, you know, wanting to live. It's like my first thought process while getting into it was like, okay. My first thought process was that, okay, they clearly go through this like every day, considering this 12-year-old little girl isn't shook at all in the face of something looking at her like a light snack. And what blew me even more is how all the adults just don't give a damn.
Earlier, Nat was telling me about how he lost his backpack due to being attacked by a giant crimson splitjaw yesterday.
That's absolutely right. If I weren't there to save his little butt, then he'd be some snake droppings right about now.
You saved him.
Yep. I blew my whistle. And made myself a decoy.
Damn. That's crazy.
It's just like, what? No, protect the babies. Hello? No, you can't explore the giant bottomless hole in the ground. Is it just me? Am I the only one that likes seeing kids alive and happy? Orphaned or not, they don't need this. Like, there are literally legendary Pokemon flying around outside, and we don't got no Pokeballs, so they are 100% hostile. But the adults' first instincts are, yeah, let the kids go down in the big hole that can kill you just by walking up a hill too fast.
Oh my gosh. What do I do?
They'll be aight. This show is proper cosmic horror to a T. The threat for the most part isn't a person. It isn't an entity or an object, but literally the world itself trying to kill them without understanding or reason. Like, I really want to know the intricate science behind turning into a big jelly monster if you ascend up a hole too fast.
Yes, science!
I mean, have y'all ever noticed that the abyss kinda has eyes? I mean, what if the entire town is literally built around a giant asshole, some giant... So besides the fact that you can literally die from gravity, the monsters in this show are downright ridiculous. Like, who comes up with this crazy ass shit? Akihito Tsukushi is the author. He looks like such a chill guy too, but he's just writing some of the most horrific shit imaginable. He just like me for real. And as we're going through the abyss in season 1, out of all the monsters in the show that I found the creepiest,
vagina.
The corpse sweeper is the most disturbing. It's basically a creature that literally mimics the last sound its prey makes before its death, which is usually, you know, a cry for help.
That's a cave raider laying down on the ground. Maybe I can lure it away.
No.
And it was honestly the first indicator in the show for me. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Alright, I'm about to talk about the characters real quick.
Heyo, it's Rico!
The girl who was born in the darkness. No, like that she was born in the abyss. She's fucking Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. I'll be honest, I never really liked Rico that much. I mean, come on, let's be honest. If Rico is your favorite character, good for you, man. She needs all the support she can get. It's weird that Rico's ambition to explore the abyss is the reason we're on this crazy ass adventure in the first place, just to reach the bottom and see her mom. But for me, in the first season, she never really felt like the best leader. To be honest, in season 2, she still doesn't. And I think I just have to accept that that's not her character. But then what is? Am I thinking too hard? For me, it's just starting to feel like all Rico does is almost get all her friends bodied. And also, Akihito, my guy, my ninja. What's good with all the naked Rico scenes? The fact that there's more than one means that there's too many. And also, I guess Rico's naive fearlessness must of course come from her mom. I mean, her mom did decide to go fucking cave exploring with a baby in her stomach, but I digress. In the face of absolute terror, she will be the optimist. Her entire personality and even her goals for exploration and finding her mom kinda remind me of Gon and Jing from Hunter x Hunter. Jing put Gon in a catch me if you can, I want you to see the world type scenario. But instead of Greed Island, it's a big ass hole in the ground. Also, I'm not sure if I'm the one that noticed the subtle shot details of when Rico is thinking about her mom. It's always from a gauge where you can't really see her eyes, because from Rico's perspective, she never really knew her mom like that. But when it's someone else thinking about her mom, for example, when Ozen is thinking about her mom for the first time in the show, the offer allows us to see Liza's entire face for the first time. And I just love that stuff. That's that good shit. That adds so much to the story for me. Rico can also be kind of annoying if you're a person like me that can't help but think rationally about the situation she be getting into. Especially when Reg be stressing his ass over trying to make sure she's not somebody's lunch. It's almost like the offer personally framed Rico as someone whose naive love and curiosity for this craziness will always almost get her killed if she didn't have some ride or die ass friends. Rico's constant state of wonder gives me secondhand anxiety because she's a kid and I don't want to see her get hurt. So when she does get hurt, it's almost like I feel her pain. No, like dead ass. When I saw this scene, I was stressed. It's like I knew the offer wouldn't kill her in episode 9 or anything on some Eren Yeager shit. But I knew nothing about this anime coming in, so I had no clue what was about to go down. I mean, boy, let me tell you, I was straight hyperventilating trying to prep myself for Reg to cut her arm off. Like I was the one about to get chopped. Now this anime had some stressful moments, but this scene was by far the best in the show for me up till now. I was watching it late at night too, so I couldn't tell if a tear actually left my eye or if I was just tired. Because before this episode, while I was watching, I was complaining to myself about how there wasn't enough gore because I'm a psychopath. And the offer made me eat my motherfucking words. The show just takes a full right turn in body horror and say, I say less. You want some gore, Lil Murky? Just hold on till season 2. This is even our final form. A part of me is like, I didn't want to see this happen to children, yeah. But then the devil on my shoulder was like, yeah, something bad needs to happen to these kids for me to give a fuck. Reg. Now, if you don't fuck with Reg,
I don't fuck with you.
I mean, who doesn't like Reg? Out of everyone in the show, I don't have anything bad to say about him. For one, he's a robot boy. And unlike Rico, he has a mystery about himself that even him and the viewers are still waiting to find out about. Like, who made him? How did he lose his memories? Why do they keep making jokes about his robot pee-pee?
But I couldn't really see inside his butt. I tried probing him with a stick, but it broke off inside. And his penis doesn't appear to be mechanical. It's more like a real one.
You're a victim.
Here we go, CSI.
Like, leave my dude alone. He didn't even ask for that. I also like the subtle details about how when Reg moves, you kind of can hear a rattle when he moves. Like you can hear the metal bits on his arms and legs clanking together anytime the camera is close to him.
Let's go and greet them at the Grand Pier. Huey, it's dangerous that—
Wait, hold up. You heard that?
Let's go and greet them at the Grand Pier. Huey, it's dangerous that—
Nah, you ain't hear that shit. Look at this.
Oh, I see then. The teachings of cave raiders can be quite humbling.
That attention to detail is what I love. More please. I'm a sucker for that. I mean, his design alone kind of goes hard to me. And in season 2, they gave him like a dark skin shonen power up with new drip and everything. Boy, I see you. He even started entering fights like a shonen character. Always arrive late. Perfect. I mean, he can even shoot Dragon Ball Z level attacks from his hands, which honestly made me less anxious about their chances for survival in season 1. The entire time during this season, all I could think about was how Rico would even have made it past the second layer if Reg wasn't here.
It's facts! It's facts! It's not facts. These sites is not facts. It's not facts.
They also did something in season 2 I wasn't expecting, and that was giving an explanation to why Rico named him Reg in the first place. So Rico's mom actually met Reg. Spoilers if you actually care and haven't seen season 2. If that's the case, why are you here? So Rico's mom actually met Reg a long time ago apparently, and she was the one that named their dog after Reg. And it's just a coincidence that when Reg and Rico meet and he forgets his own name, she names him after her bitch.
Oh, I like that you use the technical term for a female dog.
So yeah, Reg's the best character in the show, no doubt. Nanachi. So if Reg was the best character in the show for me, Nanachi is a clear runner-up. She has had such a shit life, living in the slums, being forced into the abyss to be experimented on, and transformed into the cutest fucking thing imaginable. Like, why is her design so cute?
You so fucking precious when you smile.
She almost became my favorite character just by her looks alone. Yes, I am a thought for a banger character design. I mean, look at her fucking ears! You're not too gangster to want to pet those, Playboy. And apparently she smells nice too. That's why Rico and Reg are always trying to hug her. She's just so cuddly and cute, and we should all wish her to have a good life. And I also feel like her voice actress, Izawa Shiori, is doing an amazing job voicing her. She sounds like really nasally kind of, and she gives a distinctive performance that just sounds completely different from everybody else.
よし、一時しのぎはできたかな。けどこっからが大変だぜ。お前にいろいろ取ってきてもらわねえ。
And in season 1, there's a scene of her trying actual good food for the first time in her life. And for me, that was reminiscent of a scene in Spirited Away when Chihiro eats the special rice balls. Nanachi's entire character arc, I feel, through both seasons has to do with, of course, grieving Mitty, her best friend, that got turned into goop the same time she got turned into a cute bunny girl.
Man, that's messed up.
In season 1, she has to deal with taking care of Mitty after they escaped their torture, and you know, she can tell that Mitty's entire existence just looks like absolute pain.
For the love of God! Please!
But since Mitty's body is kind of in this form, that when she meets Reg, she asks him to take her out. And the build up for that scene was so great. I'm not gonna lie, they almost caught you, boy. They almost caught me slipping. I'm such a pussy. Golly! I held tight though, I stayed strong. But when Reg asked Nanachi to not kill herself after he killed Mitty, I could feel the tear in my eye socket struggling to escape. And the scene of them collapsing in each other's arms just reminds you that, damn, these are literal kids. Why are they going through this? And I appreciate how in season 2, she's still not over grieving Mitty. It's a natural progression for her character that she's still not over that, considering what she's been through. She deadass just dips out the story altogether once she realized Mitty has a clone. Oh yeah, Mitty has a clone apparently. I'm not gonna elaborate on that. Reg literally turned her into Ash, and then they brought her back just to reopen old wounds while making brand new ones. Because season 2 opened up some good ass wounds, but we'll get to that. Faputa. The literal embodiment of violence and destruction with wholesome and cuteness. That's her. That's her character. This girl can literally be brutally murdering Teletubbies in one scene and then just become a little ball of fur you want to squeeze in another one. She's almost like a puppy that can punch a hole in your chest. She's apparently like 150 years old and is basically a supercomputer with anger issues. She's kind of overpowered and her relationship with Reg is really cute. She's definitely the best part of season 2 for a lot of people I've been seeing. And I guess if I'm gonna talk about Faputa, I actually have to start talking about season 2. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of dreading this. I still haven't fully recovered. But first, I gotta make a confession.
But there's more. Listen. Watch this.
Yeah, I didn't watch the movies to make this video. Shut up. It's not because I didn't want to, but because I literally didn't know they existed.
I'm a dumbass.
Personally for me, it didn't really feel like it affected my viewing experience too much, besides the elephant in the room that is Prushka.
Call me, Rico. Wait a minute. Who are you?
No, like deadass, that was me. I had no clue who this was through the entirety of season 2. Apparently, I guess she's like a character that was introduced in one of the movies, and I guess she died because I guess she's a whistle now. I mean, I don't know, I didn't watch them, and I probably would never watch them. I mean, I usually like it when anime put their canon stories into films, but unlike Demon Slayer, not every anime retells the events of a movie into a TV show format, so people aren't lost as fuck. So from my perspective, when Rico just starts talking to her whistle that she got off screen for me, apparently, it was just like, oh, okay, she's going insane now. That's okay, I'm fine with that. And I just completely glossed over the fact that from season 1 and season 2, she never had that whistle. So where did it come from? I never asked that question while watching. And I'll be honest, I legit thought I just missed an episode in season 1. I was really looking through the episodes like,
am I tweaking?
I'm sorry y'all, but at least you know now I'm living proof you don't really have to watch the movies to enjoy season 2. And speaking of season 2, let's talk about it. So season 2 of Made in Abyss was the biggest emotional roller coaster I felt with an anime since Attack on Titan. And this season still surprises me on how fucked up this show can get. Like, come on bro. This is episode 1. The writing got crazier. The stakes got higher. The action got disturbing in some places. And don't even get me started on the monsters. So apparently because I didn't watch the movies, we've suddenly been instant transmission to the 6th layer. And what the fuck in the legendary Pokemon is that? At this point, I just feel like the author is just slapping together body parts now and just creates monstrosities. Like, I might need to do whatever drug this man's on to come up with some of the creatures in this show. Like, he must be on that Walter White Blue Sky OG Kush and was just going crazy in the writer's room. The creatures in this show never cease to amaze me. So season 2 starts off by going back and forth between the crew we've come to know and this other crew called the Ganja Corps. They're basically
some kind of Suicide Squad.
They've come from overseas years prior from the events of season 1, and they wanted to explore the abyss and eventually made it to the 6th layer, which they call the Golden City, until they realized they're a bunch of dumbasses because they didn't know that once you go down, You can't go back up. So they settled down there and were the OG founders of the village you see first in season 2. Which just for some reason is like a marketplace now for mutated Teletubbies. I'm just gonna jump right into it. And let me just say again, this show just continues to top itself with its own mysteries. I assumed at first that this show was going to be pretty simple. Find Rico's mom, yada yada yada. Almost die, yada yada yada. Kill some monsters, yada yada yada. Simple shit, right? But I never expected the mystery regarding the original settlers of the Golden City to be so haunting. They keep going back and forth between them and Rico and the gang, and you just can't help but think, what happened to them? They're all monsters, aren't they? When Rico found Vueko, this girl, who was one of the 3 leaders of the original group, she was just letting it all hang down in the tunnel, and you eventually found out why she's there. But I'll be honest, I gotta ask this. Where did her clothes go? And what did she eat? These are valid questions, I feel like. Hey, do y'all want to see some weird stuff real quick?
I don't think I can get used to this toilet. It's nice to keep playing.
I know at least one of y'all was like, hey, yo, hear me out though. And for that, I have to say, you better come with a good argument. So basically, as Rico and the crew are doing their stuff in the present, the show keeps flashing back to the Ganja Squad's time before everything happened. You know, for context. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about Room Yi. Room Yi. Room Lee. Y'all don't know how long it took me to figure out how to say her name, and I feel like I'm still saying it wrong. She was this little girl they met before going down into the abyss, and she is very important to the season. So eventually these very, very intelligent people find some water down in the 6th layer and decide to start drinking it. Because, you know, they're clowns. Now you can tell me all you want. Oh, it's for their survival. What else were they gonna do? Let me die. No, don't even think about it. Let me die. Oh, and don't worry, it gets worse. If someone were to make a top 10 most fucked up shit that's happened in the anime so far, I feel like Irumyui would occupy at least 3 of those slots. And this anime already has some messed up stuff. My number 1 thing for a 10 out of 10 horror experience in anime is good body horror. You gotta do something so unnerving, so grotesque, that it sticks in your brain after watching, even days after seeing it. I mean, watching all the people in the town slowly transform into hollows was so unsettling for me. It's like when you're sleeping and you think you feel something crawling on you, but it really is just your leg here. Like the stuff that goes on in episodes 7 and 8 just make your entire body so uncomfortable. Like bro, I had to watch some SpongeBob after these episodes. I was actually not okay. I think it's doing everyone that's watching this video a service if I just left what happened in that episode out of this review.
Psych a lot! Irumyui, are you awake? Vueko?
I want you to watch it and be just as uncomfortable as I was. That's how I feel. And trust me, I've been around the block. I've seen a lot of messed up pieces of media, but this one for me was just so inhumane. Just the most diabolical shit I've seen in a while. Like, oh my god, I was not okay after that. I really wasn't. I had to sit down, take a breath, touch some grass, collect my thoughts, and pray for the safety of my future kin. It was desperate times. The backstory and explanation to the origin of the village, why everyone looks like demented childhood mascots, and what happened to the little girl they brought with them will leave you completely on Faputa's side after that. It's like, yeah, I understand why Vueko basically grounded herself. After everything that happened, I wouldn't think I'm going to see the J-Man either. And it doesn't even stop there. Like, everything just goes absolutely insane after that. Like, what the fuck? And I'll be honest, I don't feel bad at all for the villagers. Every time they try to make me feel bad, I just think of this. They need to die. Oh, I want to say that word so bad. And the fact that they know they deserve what is coming to them doesn't help their cases for me. Especially this guy. I don't like him the most. Wazoo, who cares? To all the people giving this guy a little slap on the wrist for everything that he did, you better than me. You really better than me. Let me expound by saying, I don't see him as a villain. And I completely understand why he did what he did. And his motivations and ideas and whatever. But I'm sorry. I'm an emotional person, especially when it comes to kids. And this man is the literal embodiment of, man, fuck them kids. Fuck them kids. Instead, let's cook them into a nice, healthy meal. Oh, hey, Vueko, do you want to help? Like, why would you ask somebody that? He should have had the worst death. I smelled bullshit on this man as soon as he stepped on screen. He was giving child murderer. And this is how he dies?
Realize both your dreams and your despair.
Ah, no. I don't think it's gonna play out the way you say it will.
That's great.
That's it?
Why was that so peaceful? Fuck that! Everyone's takes online on what he did, talking about, frankly, I relate to him on a degree. And this man gets this old Mickey Mouse death scene while Vueko gets this.
Ow. Ow. It really hurts. The wall is crumbling. No. This hurts.
That's some bullshit.
They did her so dirty. I'm done talking about this. I actually am. Please just watch season 2 to understand my feelings. And don't hold back in the comments either. I want to hear all your trash takes. I also like the idea of Faputa joining the squad. She's so overpowered. She could be like the tank in an RPG for them. It would be such a waste of an amazing character to me to not have her as a regular, crew member of the anime. So with that said, I'm giving Made in Abyss Season 2 a grand 9 out of 10. This season was absolutely insane, and I honestly could have talked about everything outside of the grotesqueness, but it's literally imprinted in my mind, so that's all I really cared about. And you know what's the worst part? I kinda loved every second of it. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think the real story of Made in Abyss isn't the friends we made along the way, but the slow progression of my boy Rex Heron. Let's go!
Good night, everybody! Did you tell me this was over?